don't know it. And therefore, within 24 hours, you have your will in your hand, bar no rule. Once I get the instructions. People also think wills are very complicated.
Yeah.
Wills are a very, very simple document. You don't necessarily need to bring anything into the person who's drafting your will's office.
Yeah.
You just need to have an idea of what it is you own. You could actually put in a will this same hotel. I send this hotel Sheraton Grand to whoever. You could put that in your will. There's going to be a problem later on down the road when the person decides to collect after you die. But you certainly could put it in. Certainly could put it in. But the reality is,
That'd be a terrible joke.
The reality is you only need to know what you own, be able to describe what you own, and be able to tell that to the person who's drafting the will for you. So if you own a car, I own a red Honda 1997, whatever. I own a piece of property, I own a property on Cowpen Road, lot number, whatever. And it doesn't even need to be that specific. Because when we get your documents together, we're going to find out if you own one or more lots in Cowpen Road, or if you only own one lot. It makes it so simple. So the reality of the matter is, first of all, a will, it's very cheap. You know, wills generally to any law firm in the Bahamas going to cost you under $200 or $250. That's a myth. People think wills are very expensive. They're very, for a basic simple will, it's very cheap. It's very cheap. It takes, it's very cheap. And it doesn't take much time to prepare these documents. The only thing you need to make sure when you're doing your will, and we're going to give you a little bit of lesson so that we all could be past this inherit wills 101. The only thing you need in your will, you need an executor or an executrix. You need a witness. You need a witness, and you need to know what you own. That's it. It's very simple. It's very easy. And once you do that, anyone in here could draw up a will. You don't necessarily need to go to an attorney, but I think it's better if you do go to an attorney. But it's very simple. It's three things. It's three things that you need: an executrix, yourself, the executrix, the gift, and the two witnesses. Now, two witnesses. You need two witnesses. They have to be present at the same time. Now, let's say, for argument's sake, you have a relative and you don't like them too much. But if you leave them out the will while you alive, it's going to be trouble. This is one simple way to deal with that problem. You let that person, you give them a gift and let them sign as a witness. If they sign as a witness and you give them your will, they are now ineligible to receive that gift. So that's a nice trick. It doesn't void the will. It just voids that person's gift under the will. So whenever you are asked to sign a will, know that you are getting nothing in that will. I see.
Interesting.
All right. You also have to have the capacity to do a will. Who can make a will? Anyone over 18 can make a will. All right. Anyone over 18 can make a will. And you just leave what you want in that will. So, for the brief time I had to give you a short lecture on the inheritance, I've given you why you should make a will. I've also given you the need, right? Give you the need for a will.
Q&A.
Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. The time you need to make a will is now. the cost is cheap. And it's just less than $200. The cost is very cheap. And most firms, you're gonna be too high. Well, you know, sometimes, you know, but it's cheap, it's cheap. You know, so don't let the cost of a will tear you away from going to get a will. But the most important thing is that you leave your family exposed when you do not create a will. You know, you may have things that you want to leave to children, but when you don't specifically name them, it could go another way. It could go where you don't necessarily need it to go. So, in closing, I think if there are questions, they certainly be happy to take questions afterwards. But in closing, I believe that you have done an excellent job here, and all of you have passed Inheritance 101 and Toastmasters 1600 tonight.
All right.